Everyone, welcome back to the Fallout 4 Nono Ninja run. This is episode 16. The end of the last episode, I had just spoken with the Nakanos, told them I would take their boat to Far Harbor to find Kasumi, their daughter, and I did take their boat to Far Harbor, and then didn't even get out of the boat and turned around and came right back. Just got the little over 400 experience for traveling there, and of course when I arrived, this is what I arrived to. We've got a lovely rad storm going on in the background, so I'm wearing my hazmat suit, but I will need to change out of it because there's going to be some ghouls right down at the base of this cliff. But let's just sneak up there first and see what we can see. Now the nice thing is, now that I'm level 23 and have sneak 4, I don't have to slow down for my sneaking. So yeah, we've got 3 ghouls there that I should be able to hit. The one is in the water, but I should still be able to hit him. One out there, one in the water there, and then one way over there that won't be a problem. So really it's just probably going to be these 3, possibly that one over there. Switch into my more appropriate gear with some armor. And not that I should need it, because I should be able to take these guys out without any real trouble. Right. So, that being done, and the rad storm is just breaking up. Perfect timing. This one is a bit further out into the water than I'd like, but if I can hit him, I will. And then we'll just jump right back out of the water. Took a little bit of rad damage there, but we should be okay. I have plenty of mutant hound chops to eat if I do feel like the amount of rads that I'm taking is getting into a danger zone. But of course, the ultimate goal is to get back to Hangman's Alley and just use the decontamination arch. Now, my path that I'm going to take back to Hangman's Alley, normally, if I didn't have enough ballistic fiber yet, I would head down here, go into the Museum of Witchcraft. There's a Grognak the Barbarian comic book in there. There is a Deathclaw in there that's not even just a normal Deathclaw. It's a fairly nasty one that would be a little bit risky for me to try and take on. But then just up the road from there is a retirement home, and one of the residents that was in that retirement home was a very hardline military sort of person, and she kept military grade duct tape, 1 roll, as well as army fatigues, a clean army helmet, about 20 grenades, and yeah, some good stuff. But when you make to exit that building, you get ambushed by a group of about 5 or 6 synths, including 1 leader, and I have really no interest in fighting them. So what I will be doing is making my way down. There's a little, it's weird that you can't see, there's a little cross road here that kind of goes across from here-ish, and it'll let me kind of cut across and get to the insane asylum, and then from there we'll move south to the slog and then kind of take the same route back that we took to get here, which of course means I'll have to watch out for that sentry bot that I thought I was so smart and was going to kill with those mines and wasn't able to. Now we've got something up on the bridge. There's always a random encounter there. By the way they're moving, I'm gonna guess that they are gunners, and they will probably be neutral to me until I would get close. So regardless, yeah, they're gunners. Regardless, we're just going to pretend they're not even there and move over and get on this road. Now there's a little bit of danger because there's some raiders that kind of go up on that ridge near the coastal cottage settlement, and unless I get close enough, the Mirelurks don't trigger to go take them on and kill them, and I won't be getting close enough, so I'm going to keep my distance from the ridge. Thankfully it's nighttime, so they won't really be able to see me, and if they do, honestly, if I get into caution, I'll probably just sprint down the road a ways. Now I'm low enough level that I also don't have to worry about, on the other side of this kind of ridge, there is more water, and at a high enough level, I think it's once you're past level 30, but don't quote me on that. But anyways, a high enough level, there will be a Mirelurk queen that will spawn there, and I've seen that queen actually kind of follow me out of the water down the road, and I kind of had to go cross country in a direction that I didn't want to go. I wasn't ever in caution, but I didn't dare pop up and move faster because then she would see me and she would spew her acid at me. So I quickly kind of crawled as quickly as I could down the road. But at this point, yeah, like I said, she will not spawn because I'm low enough level. This guy, unfortunately, with this guy, you can't. He's just a vendor that's set up shop here. Pickpocketing him will not tell you what's in his inventory, and I'm pretty sure killing him will not give you access to what he is selling. When you pickpocket him, he just has a gun and a few bullets and some caps, generally. And yeah, I would like to, usually, as I deal with vendors that can be killed, check them via pickpocket to see if they have any military ammo bags or military grade duct tape, and kill them if they do. And if not, leave them to see if maybe the next time that I'm past, their inventory might have changed. You will remember, though, there is a vendor kind of near / below Hangman's Alley that in one of the very first episodes of this run I did just straight up kill. That's because even if that vendor doesn't have anything good in their inventory, which they didn't really have much of anything for me, that vendor somehow is kind of aware of you as you're crawling around, and it's kind of a petty reason, but they make me not sure if I'm actually hidden or detected, or if something like an enemy is nearby. So I just kill that vendor every time just to get rid of it. Now we're back here at Parsons Insane Asylum, and it's interesting. So Maria is green, but the mercenaries are all red. All the way around there's mercenaries patrolling. But they won't attack you. I don't know if they'll ever attack you, but they for sure will not attack you if you've spoken with Edward and been assigned to kind of work for Jack Cabot and all that. But you would think that once you've done that they would turn green and non-hostile, kind of like Maria does. I guess I don't know if Maria is red. She maybe doesn't even spawn until you are in the employ of Jack Cabot. But at any rate, it's nothing we have to worry about because we are in Jack's employ, and so none of those mercenaries will cause us any trouble. Now I did forget last time I was here at the slog that they have an armor workbench, so I can get that sprinter's right leg going, but I am remembering this time, yay me. So I'll have a drink of water and use their workbench, and then we'll start heading back home in as safe and quiet a manner as possible. It's an interesting kind of oh, I'll totally help. I'm absolutely going to help. Just not today. Or tomorrow. Probably ever. Alright, so we've got our mods off of that piece. Slap them onto this piece. I didn't mean to do that. Darn it, I used up some materials that I didn't need to use. But that's alright. So we'll just call this Sprint Leather Right Leg. Not to be confused with AT&T or Verizon Leather Right Leg.
Welcome to...
Sorry, terrible joke. We used up some stuff that freed up some cork, but that's fine. Wiseman is over there and wanting to tell me about his issues and that sort of thing, but I really just don't want to hear it. I'd rather just make some food and move along. Oh, I can make a noodle cup. Very nice. Make sure I didn't leave any components in that workstation. Alright. Now we can continue moving on. And it's starting to get daylight out, which is a bit scary. I don't like to be near the forged when they might spot me and come running at me, especially with only 3 endurance. They can chase for a good long time, and I won't be able to sprint past them very well. Plus, I'd be sprinting from one danger into another. So I'm going to stay way over on this side of the road and hope that I don't think coming this way spawns another random encounter. And I think the dogs that killed that farmer should have either despawned or wandered off. So hopefully I will be just fine going through here. Yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of a conundrum I'm in because I'm close enough to 25 that I really don't want to screw anything up before hitting 25 and getting so much vastly better armor. But yet I do need to, I need to kill some things to be able to get to 25. So I really have to pick and choose what exactly am I going to kill and bother with and that sort of thing. One thing I'm not going to bother with is the Mr. Gutsy up there. I can't target him in VATS yet, but he's right there. I have no interest in testing myself against him. That blood bug will be a little... Oh. That's way closer than I thought he was, but thankfully I was able to get a sneak attack on him. I was about to say he would be annoying because fighting him might draw the attention of that Mr. Gutsy, which would target both of us, but in classic Fallout 4 fashion, would target me first. But thankfully I was able to get rid of it before I had any problems. So we'll just kind of swing around to the outside here. Again, with it being daylight, that Mr. Gutsy is going to have a lot better chance at seeing me. And if I get too far this way of him, then the super mutants are going to see me. And like I said, there's one up there with a missile launcher. And just one lucky shot from him, and once again, everything is done. So I'm going to shade a little closer to the Mr. Gutsy than I would like, just because I know with the Mr. Gutsy, if I have to, I can duck behind a rock and use a stealth boy. He will not likely one-shot me like the missile launcher super mutant would. But now that I'm here by the Mirelurk I killed a couple episodes ago, I feel like I'm pretty safe to just continue on. But remember, there is that sentry bot over there that I was unable to destroy, despite my, the best laid plans of minds and men didn't. Oh, well, look at that. Abraham Finch is, the game is saying, is right in front of me, so I can pickpocket him. Don't want any of that stuff, and I wouldn't really want to pickpocket him, but he's way over there, and yet the game, that happens sometimes with Fallout 4. It'll just, once I had a rock that was, according to the game, was a super mutant that I could pickpocket, and it was very interesting looking at the inventory of a rock-looking super mutant. So yeah, I'm kind of walking through a valley here of death on that side and death on that side, if that Deathclaw is still over there. And then, of course, the sentry bot over there. But neither of them really usually comes too close to the road, so we should be all good when it comes to that. And of course, these settlers wanted me to go over to kind of the boardwalk area over there and take care of some raiders for them. I won't be doing that unless I absolutely have to, which I might much later, closer to the end game. I might need to get some settlements on my side, and that will probably be one of them. But by that time, going over and dealing with those raiders should be a pretty simple exercise, if I can manage to actually get that far. I'm making a wide berth of those that filled with radiation Getting too close to them just hits you with a lot of rads really quickly. And I'm also just a little wary. Again, there's always a random encounter over there, and sometimes it's something that's already dead and you don't even notice it. Oh, now I'm down into overtired, so we're really going to need to get some rest soon. But that's fine. I'm getting into kind of a comfortable area here. I am going to stop and get some free, not a huge amount, but some free experience. Deb in Bunker Hill would have hired me to clear out the ghouls at the National Guard Training Center that I already cleared out. So I will be able to talk to her, haggle a little bit for some money, possibly get some speech check experience, and then tell her that I already did it, and she'll just give me some money and experience, which will be nice. But yeah, at this point, we're pretty much completely safe. Unless I do something stupid to myself, such as climbing up to the top of that monument and then not being careful enough on the way down and falling out a window. Deb!
Hey there.
What do you got? What do you got to say? Oh, maybe I should put this on. That might have been
Load
good.
a little heavy there? I'll buy anything you don't need.
Nope, you won't, because I don't do business with anyone.
You have any paying work?
Yeah, I have something. It ain't easy, though.
Actually, it wasn't too bad.
Caravan. Apparently, the Northern Road goes straight through an old military training yard that's just crawling with a horde of feral ghouls. And that's cutting into my bottom line. So
How much will you pay me?
I'm tired of mercs blowing this off.
Alright, there's a little bit. Anything
Sounds
more?
like you need me.
Everyone comes into the hill.
Okay,
thinking
well,
they
I
can
got one at least. I already did it.
Cleared the National Guard training yard.
Well, I'll be. Take this then. You might want to talk with Kessler, by the by. She's looking for someone like you.
I might want to talk to her later. See, there's a nice chunk of experience just for telling someone that I did something. Didn't even have to go do it, and it was something that I wanted to do or needed to do anyway, which is the best kind of experience for that. I'm just going to drop that. It's I should have scrapped it for the leather, but really at this point I can get leather pretty easily by looting raider corpses and that sort of thing. So let's see what we've got down here. Looks like a dead body up there, probably a settler or something. Hopefully that's it. Iguana bits. Trilby hat. Now let's get some more easy experience by popping into Cabot House and letting Edward know that I got the serum. Jack and his mom are arguing about his sister.
So did you find out what happened to the courier?
Just some raiders that ambushed him.
I don't like raiders operate. What about...
There was only this one vial left.
Oh, good. Here's your pay for the job. Now, as far as what's next.
Right?
Oh, hell.
It's funny, that was a way more difficult
I'll
quest.
take care of it.
At least it took me a lot longer to do than
I'll send someone to find him.
what I did for Deb. But, and it was a marked quest as opposed to, kind of one of those unmarked ones. And yet, got much less experience for it. So,
Just doing my
Wilhelmina
job.
there
Speaking
wants
of which,
her daughter,
here's what we got back.
Emma
We'll
Jean,
have to
found.
from Parsons.
Emma Jean has just gone off with
Got the rest of it on
a new
fire.
boyfriend, and so Edward's going to send me to find her next.
Emma Jean is Jack's sister. You probably figured that out yourself.
Yes.
She's, from time to time.
Great. The sister's even crazier than Jack.
She's not crazy. She just wants the world to be a different place than it.
Right.
I don't know where she's gone. She's been somebody there must know.
Got it. Off to Good Neighbor then.
I say off to Good Neighbor then. I have no intention of going to Good Neighbor, at least not to track down Emma Jean, because I know exactly where Imogene is. She's being held pseudo-captive by her new boyfriend at the Charles View Amphitheater, which is on my way home. So, I think I might pop a bottle of Nuka-Cola and chop down some relatively easy-to-kill cultists. There's only a few of them that have guns, and those guns generally aren't very powerful. There's a lot of them, which can be a problem, but most of them will go down to one hit from my combat knife, which I'll use the machete to take out kind of the main person, the one, Brother Thomas with the gun. But first I'm going to let him lead me off into a secluded area where he's going to ask me for everything that I own. Well, demand it, really. But yeah, before we do that, let's just drink a Nuka-Cola. And it's only going to take me from overtired to just plain tired. But that's really all I probably need at this point. Brother Thomas, how you doing?
Excuse me.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad.
Really?
Tell me something.
Now, if I went to Good Neighbor and then came here, I could just ask about Imogene. But since I haven't done that part yet, the game's like, well, you don't know that Imogene's here, so I'll just say I don't have time for this.
You should make. We call our.
Yep.
Step right.
Sure, I'll
Sounds
follow
good.
you.
Well.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Really, just kind of doing this because then I'm in a room that's kind of got a little kind of a door,
I don't bite.
and yeah, I can actually close that door.
Alrighty. I hope
It'll
yours
kind of
is
thin out
exciting
their
as I am.
numbers
This
so
is
that I
one
can.
of my favorite parts of the job. Getting to welcome new members.
Yeah, your welcome is to demand all of my stuff, so we're just going to kill you right off the bat. Take your key, and hopefully, ideally that won't have triggered anything from the other cultists. And I can just pop in here and say, hi, Imogene.
You must be Imogene.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
I like how you can just say, wow, you look old.
You're Jack's sister? I was expecting someone a bit younger.
How rude. Don't you know just
Yeah,
to be
she
clear,
doesn't like
once
that.
I get home and
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
it really isn't any. And I know
She's just a piece of work.
You don't seem very grateful for being...
I'm fine, as you can see. But since you've already... I was bored with Tom. He actually thought he could force me.
I hope you weren't too attached to Thomas.
I was done with him. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
So yeah, the serum that they take actually grants them enhanced strength and... Oh, the missionary is green. Nice. And that sort of thing. If you actually have the dialogue that you're supposed to and all that, you'll find out that it took like all of them to force Imogene into that room before they could lock the door, and she probably could have broken the door down herself if she wanted to because of the serum, which I think is a nice little touch. She's just like, yeah, I wasn't really trapped in here. You didn't rescue me at all. I was just hoping he would come to his senses. It's always kind of funny. Yeah, it's time to pass time to get some rest, and then we'll kind of figure out from there what we're going to do to get up to level, well, first 24 and then 25. Almost there. When I go on these long excursions way up north and the Nakanos and all that, coming back to Hangman's Alley is just such a nice kind of feeling of comfort. I'm not going to drop off all the junk that I've gathered because I want to keep that, but I am going to get rid of the rads and have a drink, and then we're going to have some sleep. I think after that sleep, we can probably do one kind of quick little area nearby that shouldn't pose too much of a threat. And yeah, we can, oh, I got infection, which does damage periodically. That's no good. So, yeah, I guess we'll use some antibiotics. Got plenty now, so that's good. And being at home base, that just makes me thirsty. And I'm also hungry, so we'll take care of that as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, there's a nice little dungeon really close that's ghouls, a couple of bloat flies, and some rad roaches. Nothing too concerning. And it should, because ghouls are generally pretty good sources of XP, it should get me at least up to level 24. And yeah, we'll do that before we... I was thinking of maybe ending this episode a little short, making it kind of a 20-minute episode or so, but yeah, we'll go ahead and kind of zip through this one. It's pretty quick. I won't bother with all the lore and everything, but the general story here is that a serial killer, back before the bombs fell, brought a lot of his victims down here and made what he considered art. And then he left holotapes taunting the detective that he thought was after him. And so you'll see some interesting groupings of skeletons and other, bones, skulls, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just here to kill ghouls. That one kind of freaked me out there because his eyes are glowing despite the fact that he's dead. This one's actually, I feel, easier if you're using melee weapons, or at least not using guns, simply because there's a few rooms here that have a gas leak in them, and you don't necessarily notice it every time. I want to make sure that I have Molotovs armed. Alright, there's a bloatfly up there, but I can't reach him. So we're just going to go in here, see if... I don't think he'll follow me down. Oh, he does. That's convenient. And yeah, we'll go back in here, get away from those rads. Oh, a baseball. Some cork, always useful. I switched over to the combat knife because most ghouls will go down in one hit, even without the adrenaline. Now that I've slept for 7 hours, most ghouls will kind of go down to it pretty easily, and bloatflies and rad roaches for sure will. I might switch back over in here because there's 4 ghouls, and yeah, one's a stalker. And that one is just a regular ghoul. Roamer. Yeah, I'd probably be fine using the combat knife, but since there's only 4, and I will be able to hit them individually anyways. Very nice getting the idiot's font on the roamer. There's a 5th one. A stalker. Another roamer. And a ghoul. Main reason that I would ever switch to the combat knife, as you can imagine, is action points. If there's just too many. But yeah, you can see the little shimmering in the air that there's a gas leak down there. Which is, of course, no problem whatsoever for me, because I don't have guns. Oh, I shouldn't say that. If I were silly enough to throw a Molotov in there or something, I would take a lot of damage. Alright, level 24. This one's always interesting because if you're a gun user, gun nut level 3 is at level 25, as is armor. So a gun user often, I will hold on to this train, this perk, and get both armor and gun nut at level 25. But since I don't need gun nut and my next big leagues and next blacksmith aren't for a while, we will just pump up endurance again. There we go. Check this and move on. I'm already actually nearing the end of this dungeon. It's a pretty short and sweet one. There's a kind of a final room with a bunch of ghouls, and then one rad roach that they use to just kind of give you a jump scare as you leave. At least for me, the first few times I would be like, oh yep, all the ghouls are dead, just gonna go back to the entrance, and then this rad roach jumps out of nowhere, and you know, it's just a rad roach, it's not a big deal, but it did give me a bit of a startle. So yeah, coming around that corner, they've got mannequins set up. I kind of wondered, you know, who set up those mannequins, but I suppose the serial killer did before the bombs fell. It's just, I mean, they're so easy to knock over, you wouldn't think they would still be standing up over after this many years. So left leg, lucky synth. You know, that's not bad, but synth left legs cannot be made shadowed, and because of that, I'm just going to stick with my combat armor. It's about the same in terms of damage resistance, and I would have to use the materials to make that lightweight, and yeah. And lucky isn't too useful to me, so yeah, we'll just leave that. Take care of the glowing one. Nothing too important there. And then there's just a bunch of feral ghouls. Nothing good there. Always nice to see idiots upon trigger. Any other? I don't think there's any. Oh, there's one right here. And then we get a tumblers today, which is nice, I guess. But more importantly, the stealth boy. Little disappointing that I didn't get any military grade duct tape out of those ghouls, but that's alright. We did get experience. We got up to level 24. And we weren't ever in any real danger. Now coming right down here, you can jump into that alcove. There's nothing really worth grabbing out of there. And we're nearing the entrance. It kind of wraps around. And yeah, if I were to kind of take the stairs around, right there, there's a rad roach that jumps out. But I'm just gonna... he jumps out anyways, but he doesn't even see me if I go that way. And yeah, I always get a little turned around, so I have to use, remember that, okay, the toolbox is right next to the stairs to get out. And there we go. In and out. Took a fair amount of rads. There's one room where there's just a bunch of uranium barrels. But that's okay, because we're going to go straight from here back to Hangman's Alley, get rid of the rads. I'll just eat something like some mole rat chunks or something to get that healed back up, and then we'll have a little bit of time to think about what our next move is going to be. So while I'm doing that, we will bring this episode to a close. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.